Different form, focusing on safely getting America back to work. But the White House is also pushing back on reports that medical experts are being pushed out. Todd Pyra joins me live with the latest as more states prepare to lift restrictions today. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Carly, great to see you. The White House shifting its focus toward putting Americans back to work, with doctors continuing to play a role, making sure medical guidelines are kept up to date. The White House emphasizing this does not mean doctors are being pushed out, especially as potential vaccines become a bigger factor. All this as we have learned disturbing details coming out of New York, the state reporting more than 1,700 previously undisclosed deaths at nursing homes and adult care facilities. Meantime, in Montana, a one-room elementary school could be among the first schools to reopen as early as tomorrow, one of a few schools there planning to do so. Tennessee and Kentucky opening up some additional businesses today. Arkansas bringing back a number of personal grooming services, all while extending the state's emergency declaration by 45 days and requiring travelers from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and New Orleans to quarantine. And while Texas will allow salons, barbers, and tanning facilities to open on Friday, that was not soon enough for one salon owner facing a week in jail for violating an order to close.
I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish, because feeding my kids is not selfish. I have hairstylists that are going hungry because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids getting fed, then please go ahead with your decision, but I am not going to shut the salon.
Yeah, certainly a lot of people talking about that, and close to 190,000 people have recovered from the virus so far here in the U.S. Carly, back to you.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Meantime, nothing to do with our government. President Trump and the DOD denying any U.S. involvement in the alleged plot to overthrow Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro.
We'll find out. We just heard about it. But whatever it is, we'll let you know. But it has nothing to do with our government.
The United States government had nothing to do with what's happened in Venezuela. Our view remains that Maduro is a brutal, corrupt leader. We will continue to make the case that he should step aside and allow an elected government to form.
Maduro seen waiving the credentials of two Americans captured in the deadly raid, which an ex-Green Beret admits to leading. Maduro insists President Trump was involved in the plan. Those ex-Special Forces soldiers, Luke Denman and Aaron Berry, reportedly in Venezuelan custody. The State Department believes their plot was thwarted weeks before the Americans arrived and that Maduro was simply laying in wait. But 2016, Trump campaign former policy advisor and visiting fellow at the Heritage Foundation, Kieran Skinner, said on Fox and Friends First, we shouldn't be so quick to believe Maduro.
Nicolas Maduro lacks credibility at every possible level and has been looking for diversions repeatedly to make us not examine what's happening in Venezuela.
Venezuelan President Guaido denying Maduro's claims he supported the botched attack. Major story there. In a letter obtained by Fox News, President Obama slammed Senate Republicans' investigation into Joe Biden and his son over Ukraine ties. The former president accusing senators of promoting a, quote, Russian disinformation campaign. The letter sent in March, reading in part, this use of the special access process serves no legitimate purpose and does not outweigh or justify infringing confidentiality interests that all presidents have sought to protect. The letter coming to light after Senate GOP leaders made a special request to open documents on the Bidens and Ukraine. California's governor is hit with another lawsuit over his plan to give millions of dollars in stimulus funding to 150,000 illegal immigrants in the state. Conservative watchdog Judicial Watch says it filed for a restraining order to stop Governor Gavin Newsom from moving forward with the plan, which he announced last month. The group says he doesn't have legal authority to use taxpayer money. A little bit of normalcy, possibly. Six Flags is hoping to open some of its theme parks later this month, but you'll have to make a reservation. Social distancing restrictions will be in place for some of those theme parks in Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Georgia. Extra safety measures, including temperature checks, face masks, cashless transactions and mobile ordering. Also possibilities. Well, normally we buy jerseys with their names on them, but now the biggest names in pro sports are coming together for the Real Heroes Project, honoring the country's real MVPs right now. It's uniting more than a dozen leagues like the NFL, MLB, WWE, and NASCAR, with athletes like John Cena and Aaron Judge posting messages of thanks to healthcare heroes in their communities by swapping their names on their jerseys. Social media loving this idea. One Twitter user writing simply, "Love this." And another person thanking healthcare workers, writing, "They're working hard to keep us healthy." They indeed are. Today, the U.S. Navy Blue Angels will be saluting frontline workers in the South. Their flyovers set for Dallas and Fort Worth at 11 a.m. Central Time. Then they'll make their way across Houston before doing a 20-minute tribute over New Orleans. Meanwhile, in New York City, the Geico Sky Typers sending messages of hope. That is so cool. The World War II fleet writing "We salute essential workers" over the city skyline.